IOG partners with Wolfram. Voting has started, and if you're registered, you have until January 4th to vote. And we're now in the Allegra Era. What the hell is the Allegra Era? Just kidding. I know what the Allegra Era is, and we'll go over that along with everything else. My name is Anthony. Welcome to Cardano Sense. Cardano Sense is sponsored by the Sophie Pool, which also happens to be my pool. We're a small pool, about 1.2 million ADA under management, I guess you would say. It's named after my daughter, Sophia. And if you'd like some more information, please look at the description below. I have another channel that just deals with Sophie Pool stuff and also just kind of quick tidbits of news. Okay, so let's get on with the show here. Let's take a look at Wolfram. So Charles announced that Wolfram has partnered with IOG, formerly IOHK. Now, if you went to or watched the videos from the summit last few months, 6 or 7 months ago now, this is not really a surprise. Stephen Wolfram spoke at the summit, and I kind of figured they were already working together. I guess this just makes it official now that Charles talked about it and said they're working together. Wolfram is going to be part of the Oracle system, and the part they're going to play is information. Now, Wolfram, which a lot of people don't know about, is kind of a search engine. And it's pretty cool, but it deals with numbers, basically. Anything that has to do with numbers or distance or anything like that, it's very, very good at. And as you can see here, you just ask in simple English, what is the distance between New York, or distance from New York to San Diego, California? And it says it right there. But if I added, what's the distance from New York to San Diego, California in inches, it will then tell you the distance in inches. So if you come down here, you look, convert distance New York to San Diego in inches. So it gives you the inches here. It's too big of a number to print, so it gives you that annotation. Then it will also give you a distance in kilometers, in meters, in miles, in nautical miles, in case the doomsayers are correct and we wash away, and you can sail from New York to San Diego. Those are the nautical miles. It also, which is kind of interesting, gives you distance in light time, right? Light travel. So 13 milliseconds in a vacuum. Again, we'd probably be dead if the Earth was a vacuum. Vacuum is like in space. 19 milliseconds through fiber optic cable. So it's really interesting. You can do a lot of stuff on here. Like another thing I did, I said, what is the height of the Sears Tower, which is not called the Sears Tower anymore. I forget what it's called. It's in Chicago. So it figures out what it is. The Willis Tower now gives you the height in feet, in miles, yards, again, nautical miles, in case you're sailing to the top, meters, kilometers, and then it gives you the height referenced in relation to other things, like the CN Tower. I'm not sure what the CN Tower is. If anyone knows, let me know. The height of what was One World Trade Center. No, I'm sorry, that's the new building. So I thought it was the old World Trade Center building for a second. One World Trade Center is the new building, so it's 0.82% of the height of that building, and the Eiffel Tower. So it's a little higher it's taller than the Eiffel Tower at 1.4 times the height. So it's really pretty interesting. If you have a chance, you should play around with it. Just Google Wolfram and it'll come up. This is called the Wolfram Alpha.com is what gets you this kind of search engine. But it's really pretty neat. And this is what part of the Oracle that's going to be connected into Cardano. Charles also talked about some other options connecting in what is the Chainlink he talked about. Now it's interesting because everyone thought that Charles was talking to the guy at Chainlink. There was going to be some kind of using each other's systems back and forth. But it turns out the way Charles is going to build this is Chainlink is just going to be able to plug into it if they want to or not. I mean, that's kind of what I got reading between the lines when he was talking. He didn't say that there was any kind of contract between them, but he did say that Chainlink, if they wanted to, could kind of plug in. So I'm guessing it's going to be set up in such a way that Chainlink or any other oracles that come along, right, will be able to kind of just plug in. So if it's made that way, that's great. So you don't really have to have partnerships. You just have to have oracles that want to plug in. And obviously, there's going to have to be a mechanism to make sure you're getting correct information, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's pretty neat. So this is kind of what Wolfram is. And again, Steve talked at the conference. So if you saw the conference, this shouldn't be that much of a surprise to you. Next, Catalyst. So voting. So I've been involved with Catalyst for a while now. Catalyst is Fund 2. It's the voting mechanism that Cardano is turning on. Now, Fund 2 is the first fund with money. So there's 70 or so projects here that we're voting on right now. Good news is you have until January 4th to vote. If you haven't, bad news, if you haven't registered, you can't vote. There was a very small registration period. And it was open to the public, but it wasn't publicized. You know what I mean? Because they wanted to get some people voting just to make sure the system works. But there is real money. So the pool this time around is $250,000. $50,000 of that is going to the voters and the community leaders, or I forget what they call them, community advisors, that help rank some of these projects. So that's getting split. The community advisors are getting a little less. I think they're getting $5,000 to split, or $10,000. Someone tell me if you know for sure. I know the community advisors are getting a smaller chunk of the $50,000. The bigger chunk is going to everyone who votes, given to everyone depending on how much they vote. They have to use your ADA to vote. It doesn't cost you ADA to vote. I think it costs you a small transaction fee to register, I think. But the more ADA you have, the more your vote counts, the more it's weighted, and the more percent of the reward you'll get for voting. So that's how that's working. So again, you have until January 4th to do this. If you want to take a look at these ideas, I'll put the link below, and you can take a look. Okay, now to the really cool stuff here. So we're talking about the Allegra Era. Just joking, this is not the Allegra Era. Okay, so the Allegra Era, no one's told me this, so I'm assuming this is what it is. So I did a little bit of research. Allegra Byron is the bastard, not my word from Wikipedia, bastard child of Byron, of Lord Byron, who the first era was named after. It was Byron, then Shelley. And then evidently a little bastard child, Allegra, is being shoved in here in between in between Shelly and Goguen. And I just had a funny thought. It's a bastard child, so I guess this is the right place for it, huh? It's kind of a bastard era, being stuck in between. They probably did that on purpose. I'm just realizing that. That's pretty funny. Anyway, so Allegra Byron was born to Lord Byron and Claremont, which was not his wife. That's why it's a bastard child. Unfortunately, Allegra died when she was around 5 years old. But she did get around a little bit here. She was cared for, actually, by Shelley, Mary Shelley, who the Shelley Network is named after, Era is named after. Mary Shelley and Lord Byron, they all kind of traveled in the same circles. I think Byron's friend married Mary Shelley. His name is here, George. I'm not sure what his name's in here. So Pierce Shelley. And that's how they all know each other. But Allegra Byron, was taken care of by Mary Shelley, her husband, their stepsister, her mother's stepsister, and her mother, I believe, until she was about 3 years old, and then she went off to Byron. Byron took care of her until she died. Unfortunately, she got sick, I think, when she was about 5 years old. They thought she was getting better, but she ended up dying. And they think, biographers are saying they're pretty sure it was typhus that killed her. So that's what Allegra is. And I'm pretty sure, well, it's either that or this. And I doubt it's this. So Allegra was Lord Byron's bastard child. So I think that's where Allegra fits in. I think I'm going to stop it here. If you have any information or any comments or know anything else about this, please leave it in the comments below. And I will put all that information down below also for you to look at, if you want to look at the catalyst stuff and all that kind of good stuff. All right? See you next week. Thanks.